And we are back for game two between Seven Shades of Greg and Team PARP. I'm Sean Minbung Shannon.
And I am Dylan General the Torpedo Dill Ortenzi.
Did I
And
get
we are
I got a new caster? It's a long name.
I am one of the torpedoes, so I get torpedo in my name like a boss.
Like a boss. Well, indeed. Uh, Speaking of like a boss, we won't be seeing Gerg Zareth anymore that he played like a boss last game because there's a ban going towards it because obviously Team Seven Shades of Greg thought that it was ban worthy enough. Uh,
So does he pick Brand then, his natural second choice of just bullshittery for magic damage? We'll see.
we shall see because I actually didn't pay attention to the end as we see an Olaf in the top lane for Django Unchained.
You're gonna have to call this one out because I am frozen on 26 seconds left for picking Xerath as the ban.
Alright,
So
so
this one's all you.
alright, all me. Fantastic. Solo stream. I do not have Torpedo in my name, but I will do it like a boss. Olaf going into the Aurelia matchup. I believe the Aurelia was picked first pick by Team PARP, with Urion getting into Diana in the jungle, which I'm very, very hyped to see. Mainly because I just want to see what he goes so I can go spam it later in solo queue. We have Sir Everett's on the Nunu and mid lane Packer Diehard with the Galio. Incredibly tanky front line for Team 7 Shades of Greg as the derpy magic lane pick is actually the Zyra coming out from Gerg 7 in the mid lane. Probably tried to use it as a flex pick, but I believe their support pick was already chosen. As we'll see later, as the interestingly enough, the Sejuani was banned out by Team PARP, who used it to pretty darn good success last game, but I guess they just didn't want to give it over to Sir Everett's. Probably seeing it that they know it's a strong champion, can't let blue side have it first rotation. As I'm guessing you're still stuck.
Oh yeah, if you get in the game and it freezes, I'll just spectate through somebody in the game.
Perfect. Yeah. So, Syndra and Rengar banned coming out from Seven Shades of Greg, as Caitlyn and Twitch are banned on the sides of Team PARP. DOSBite going to get his Lucian this game. Right now, really short range everything on the side of Team PARP as opposed to last game when they had the long range Xerath. But they still have a split push threat in the top with the Aurelia, although there is someone to maybe kind of match it and a better mid laner to support both of his side lanes with the Galio, as OP locks in the Callista, and Gert's about to pick his support pick, which is the Taric, and I love that bot lane. I absolutely love the bot lane of Callista Taric. It's really strong right now, throwing in the Taric just to land the stun afterwards, and also just the Taric ultimate in general. But if you look at the side of Team 7 Shades of Greg, it's a really just kind of a 1.5 damage team comp, putting a lot of eggs in that OP basket with Callista. Maybe Django Unchained can get off the ground and just kind of snowball and just be a nuisance, but Boom Markle locking in the Alistar as the final pick for Team PARP. Overall, really different drafts for both sides. The team fighting comp is now still with Team 7 Shades of Greg as it was last time, obviously preferring the more 5-on-5 team fight, but they have more zone controlling with the Taric ultimate, Galio ultimate, and Nunu ultimate. You don't want to fight this team into a choke point. But on the other hand, the mid lane Zyra AP scaling is just absolutely absurd. And you're not going to want to fight her in a choke point. The Lucian Alistar lane, probably against the Callista Taric lane, going to be going pretty even. More kill threat earlier on, just because Lucian will spike faster. Cough cough level 2. Pun somewhere about that joke, haha. But I'm just really curious to see if Sir Everett's can make Urion's life a living hell. He is playing Nunu, on the jungle against Diana, who has, from my experience, relatively low clears. May need to get like some sort of super leash, uh, which is really hard to do on blue side, on the on a blue side jungle from red side, as we're nearing 2 minutes of spectator delay right now. So if you want to, are you still frozen?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I'm just gonna restart my client. I'll join in when you hit into loading screen.
Sweet. I'm so happy about this. So
At this point,
I'll just
you,
name the team comps, and then you give me your choice of why. Okay. Seven Shades of Greg has Olaf top, Nunu jungle, Galio mid lane, Callista ADC, and Taric support. And then for Team PARP, you have Aurelia top lane, Diana in the jungle, Zyra mid lane, Lucian in the bot lane with Alistar support.
I'm gonna have to give this one to Parp in my opinion because if they're dive, they have a very dive heavy comp into a single carry composition from Seven Shades of Greg. So if they do get to that 80 carry and are able to kill him off, then there's just no follow-up damage from the side of Seven Shades of Greg. Olaf will have a little bit, but he's not going to be the greatest source of DPS. Maybe he'll be able to take down and one carry along with himself going down, but still having that dive comp against a single 80 carry, a single carry composition is just devastating for that single carry composition if they cannot keep him alive.
Yeah, I definitely tend to agree with you because you look at both of these teams and you see four tanks on one side or three tankish, and then whatever Olaf builds, or it may be four tanks, and then you see four squishies and an Alistar. It's it's such a dichotomy between these two playstyles. You'll have the split push with the Aurelia most likely. You'll you'll have to flank and not find five straight 5-on-5 team fights with Team Parp's comp. That being said, I also feel like building tank is more viable in this meta. It's cheaper, it's more efficient. There's more tanks on the sides of Seven Shades of Greg. I want to give it to Team Parp because I love the way they snowballed and played that last game. So I know that they can do it again, which is the only way that I feel like they win this game, is playing a little bit of a pick comp and then just like you said, trying to focus that Callista. But she has so much peel, absolutely so much peel. So we're just gonna have to see if that's gonna happen. But as of right now, I think I'll just give it to Seven Shades of Greg, just to split the desk up a bit. Please don't tell me that my client just died. I will rage.
Says you're spectating.
Okay and good. It was just a small bug. Thank the Lord. Okay. But I'm gonna go
Huh.
with Seven Shades of Greg right now. So you can spectate on me, buddy. Oh no, you
I'm
can't.
working
You,
on it.
you can't spectate spectators, can you?
Can't even spectate Sir Everett's right now.
Look at Gurg if you can.
Oh, it's not letting me spectate.
Did you restart the client?
Oh yes.
Oh, General
Gotta
Dealer.
love Riot stuff working properly.
Yeah, General Dealer is looking more like Private Lost right now. Um, Not memeing you, just it's unfortunate Riot did that. Oh, the pink Tark skin coming out with the SKT Olaf. Uh, the Infernal Diana for Urion, synergizing well with the mid laner with the Wildfire Zyra. I'm liking this. I feel the synergy. It's doing well, even with the sub mid laner and Gurg. I will do my best to play by play and color cast at the same time. Um, Everyone wish me luck.
Why is it not letting me spectate? What is the spectator delay on Twitch? What's the Twitch delay?
Let us see. Alright, so they're at 38. It's like 20 seconds almost.
You said it's a 0?
No, 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 it's not. Like where I am in the game, it's almost like a 15, 20-second delay.
Yeah, can you set it to 0?
Oh, how do I do that? Um,
Usually it lets you spectate. Oops. What is going on? My game was just completely frozen. Huh?
I don't know how to change the delay. I'm sorry.
Oh well. Best of luck.
Yep. All right. So solo cast. Here we go. Menbung. Their standard blue start for Diana obviously needs that blue to go on. Nunu, while being a good clearer, gets the standard leash from the bot lane, moving over to possibly his red buff. As we see Diana stop at her wolves and most likely to her red to get that level 3. I'm gonna have to remember that there's nobody here watching with me. Um, I feel like it's gonna be a really hard lane for this Galio Packer Diehard in the middle, as we see a little bit of a trade between Dosbite and Kalista in the bot lane, as Balakastran and Django are fighting. Gotta remember, Olaf does get a little bit stronger as he goes lower, but try not to overestimate your power. But
I mean, on the reverse side, as Irelia gets lower in health, she will have availability of that stun
yeah,
from the equilibrium strike. However, Olaf is the natural counter to the Irelia in just the straight on fight, especially once you hit the level 6 mark with that Ragnarok available.
yes, exactly. As they continue trading, Django getting a little bit of damage as he goes. He's fighting in the minion wave. Oh, he misses it. And he doesn't get the last strike on that thing. First blood going over to Blackestran in the top lane as Urion finds Sir Everett on the Nunu, smites away the Scuttler to get a little bit more health, and just walks away because that's what Zombie Nunu does. Just walks away, but different game, more of the same. Solo kill in the top lane, but this time for first blood, and a huge advantage coming for Team PARP, as getting this Aurelia off the ground is going to be, again, a huge win condition for them. As the stun lands on the Boom Arkle, knocks up Gert, just kind of says, I'm a mad cow, and Django is fighting in these minion waves, and he should not, as Urion is heading top lane, but Sir Everett's already there. Sitting on the pink ward, does not know. Sir Everett sees Urion. Get a little bit more of exchange. Django can't really help because he's low and putting his health pots up. He's got a big wave in front of him as well. Most junglers always gank when their solo laners have a giant wave, so it's kind of nice, isn't it? Just get all that minion damage. But we kind of just see nothing come of it. It's going to be interesting to see how this all happens. Packer Diehard already having to TP back to lane just to get... 2 tower shots on Blackestrain. Has to flash away after not stunning him with the Equilibrium Strike. As mentioned before, flashing away, living with single-digit health most likely. I wasn't able to check right there at the end. As Django landed the Undertow, was able to burn the Summoner spell. Blackestray most likely going to TP back to lane, though, to keep the pressure on, as he has a Sheen now against just the Doran's Blade of the Olaf. As Gert just continues to spam his stuns bot lane, even just to push the wave. If we can go to Gert here in the mid lane, it's going to be a really, really hard lane. Has the exhaust again. Something seems like he just likes to run. Don't know if it's actually really needed this game. I don't know what other summoners you could have run. Maybe a Ghost, possibly a Cleanse for the taunt of the Galio. See a little bit of trading back and forth. Boom Arkle goes back and forth as OP just continues to put spears in him, making sure to get the resets on the minions before he uses it on Boom Arkle. Urion getting the Scuttle Crab, trying to get vision around. Double stun landing from Gert. Headbutt from Boom Arkle. Goes in as Blackestrain and Django continue to fight, and that's a Sheen she has, Django. It's going to be really tough. Urion going down. Exhaust used by Gert, going down to the bot lane. Lots of spears in Urion right now, and pretty much only just waste of one summoner when it comes down to it. I believe the exhaust from Boom Arkle was used in that earlier exchange. OP looking like he's going to want to try to get this. a heal burn from Das Bite just in case the rend was used. So overall, good play from the side of Seven Shades of Greg as they get 2 summoners for 1 uh, in the long exchange.
Yeah, and they're not seeming to fall too far behind with this single carry composition, which is good. However, they're unfortunately unable to get this Callista ahead as of yet. If they can get that Callista rolling, that is their win condition right now. Jingo Unchained trying to hold up in the top lane, falling quite far behind in CS to Balakistran.
Yeah.
But it'll be up to him to get back into that backline through the Zyra and possibly kill some of those carries off while Callista is shredding through the team for shredding through PARP for Seven Shades of Greg.
So are you live with me, or are you still?
Oh no, I'm trying things out.
I gotcha. Okay, well, it's just looking across the board right now, it is still only about a 700 gold lead. That's mainly just due to the top lane, first blood, and some of the CS advantages just gained there. Again, as you were stating, the Callista is not even, but not behind too much. Only 10, 11 minions right now. Rush the level 2 boots. Most Callistas do when you kind of back on that uh, items gold timer right there. As the Taric does take the coin as mentioned. Alistar taking the Targon stacks just to provide maybe a little bit more health for him as we get a fight in the top lane. Django is going in and just losing. My goodness. Takes a question mark ping probably from the rest of his team. I didn't see one there, but the Sheen on the Aurelia, Django Unchained fighting while a level down. Thought he could probably do something with his ultimate, and it's 2-0 right now as there's an engagement in the bot lane on the Boomarkle. Here comes Sir Everett coming down. No one has their ults right now. Boomarkle gonna stun up Sir Everett. Boomarkle gonna flash, get the stun, and Boomarkle is gonna try to get the kill. No, Boomarkle dies as there's a dive in the mid lane as well. So much happening as Gert dies bot lane. Did not have his ultimate. Able to get a return kill in the bot lane. Das Bite lives barely after the Ren does not execute him. And it's 1-4. Oh, flash on OP onto Das Bite. Kills him right away. And Django is already really low as the mid tower's going down. Packer Diehard dies from the gank by Yurion and Zyra. Zyra burned her ultimate for that, but not her exhaust. Able to dive, get the first tower blood in the mid lane. One of the biggest turrets to get, even especially for first tower. With Herald not even being spawned yet. It is only 9:18 into the game. With PARP coming out ahead all across the map, having advantages. Did take that one loss in the bot lane, but evened it out with Gert dying as well. Overall, a 2.5k gold lead right now when all is said
And
and done.
I guess that comes out even for both sides because PARP has the two champions they want to be ahead. They're two main dive champions, the Aurelia and the Diana, to get to that Callista in the back. And that Callista is ahead of his opponent for Seven Shades of Greg, which is who they want to get rolling. So looking to come out even in the trade almost, except for the fact that they did get the first tower gold on the side of PARP, able to get ahead. And I also want to point out that this game, apparently according to the Riot API, does not exist because I can spectate the other match that was happening, but I cannot spectate this match.
So everybody, what you are watching is a myth, it's a legend, and I was wrong earlier. I remember Das Bite dying to OP, so they ended out with a little bit of a head of a trade, but yes, the stun lands out on the Boomarkle, who just burns his ult right now, barely, and the heal burn by Das Bite as OP continues to go. He's going to throw in the Taric right there. Galio ulting on the Taric, most likely just to save his life. Early Ren from OP as there's a rotation flash, and Blackistran TP'd in, destroys the Taric, going down, trying to focus down on OP as the rest of the team take out Packer Diehard as well. It is a 3-0 turned around by Team PARP as they are looking to take down this bot lane tier 1 tower, and Django responded with a TP, but he's so weak right now. He's sitting on just barely components of items as Blackistran is now 5-0-1, but probably going to finish the Trinity Force at the end as there's pings going down to the Infernal Dragon as PARP is just, if you didn't think they could snowball any harder, well, they just lock in the Frost Booty Aurelia and they get more snowballs from it. Diana top lane just, when your jungler can go top lane and split push a tower down, you know you're really, really far ahead.
Yeah, and I want to point out though that Jingo did not TP down there. He was already on the bot side of the map, walking down into that bot lane just to die under the tower. But he will have that teleport available well in advance of Balakastron's teleport.
Okay, great point out with me. So much happening all at once, but for some reason, Parp was knocked away from the dragon while having pressure on it, but these death timers, they are very low. Boomarkle still here, just finding his way to always get hit. Here comes the first Taric ultimate of the game. We got keep, and Boomarkle goes down again, 1, 2, and 2. Gert trying to find some stuns. We see Sir Everett channel his ultimate. It's pretty low. This could be the fight that turns it around for them. Taric dies. Blackastrain is massive as it goes in, but Opie is just able to kite. Urion destroys Opie right there at the end. They turn this around for what is right now an even trade, which is in the side of Team Parp right now. And flash burn by Sir Everett. Looks like Urion's smelling blood. He eats a minion. Is he going to be able to do this? He gets it. One last thing. Oh, Blue Smite doesn't seem to be up for Urion. And we come away with 2 for 2 on each side. Summoner's burn on both sides as Django gets some free time to hit the tower. And top lane will be the first tower for Team 7 Shades of Greg. As Urion and Dustbite focus down this tier 1 bot lane. And all the tier 1s are down at 13 minutes and 10 seconds for Team Parp. Massive, massive gold lead right now. Straighting up to almost 4,500. Zyra is sitting on a Morello Nomicon at 0, and 6, while Packer Diehard is trying to finish the makings of the Abyssal Mask. 0, 3, and 0, Django Unchained Olaf so far behind against a finished Triforce Aurelia with Merc Treads. But looks like 7 Shades of Greg is trying to sneak this dragon right now, and looks like they're going to be able to get it uncontested. They caught them on some back timers as Blackastrain is just taking it to town on Django Unchained as Urion and Boommark will get caught out. Blackastrain taking down Django Unchained. Red buff on the Aurelia as well as how far away she is, far ahead she is, excuse me. Sir Everett chanting his ultimate as the rest of them come in. Urion flashes in to try to get a kill. Kills the Taric right there. Sir Everett goes down as well. Double kill for Boomarkle. Mad Cow Disease is wild and rampant on Team Parp right now as they push to try to get this mid tier 2 right now. 14 minutes into the game. This game is out of hand right now. We're almost looking at a 6,000 gold lead. It was a 5,000 gold lead just less than 30 seconds ago. Herald is still on, and as I say that, pings from most likely Blackastrand are going down onto the Herald. They already have 4 towers down. They can use this to take another one. This is a massacre right now as Urion stills the red buff. 15 minutes in, a 7,000 gold lead, taking all the resources and all the buffs. This is exactly what you see from a team, want to see from a team who is, if I'm not mistaken, near the top of the standings right now. For Team Parp. Just now they get the Rift Herald onto Aurelia, who's massively ahead. If we want to look at these gold charts, in the top lane alone, you're looking at a 2.5k gold lead for the 7, 1, and 2 Aurelia. It's really, really hard. If you're 7 Shades of Greg right now, you need to find a way to get more farm onto this Callista and safely. Try not to maybe force some things and just wait it out for a little while. Not that Harp is going to give you that opportunity, but you need to find some ways to get some things in return. Going even is going ahead in my book for the team that's behind. But you'll have less vision because you're gold starved and you can't spend much money on those kind of wards when you're this far behind.
It seems almost an insurmountable gold lead at this point. Hopefully for them, this Callista can find the gold she needs to carry them to victory, but looking very grim as PARP is starting to put better pressure around the map, especially when they see Callista show up. Their whole team looks to rotate around that area and be on that side of the map.
Yeah, and it's just we talked about the all the eggs in the OP basket. Well, it's like a OP Titanic right now because they're hitting the iceberg named PARP, and he needs to find a way to plug up the hole or just make it buoyant for a while. As is Blackish trend? Oh no, it's a. I thought it was a 2v1. It's a 2v2, and now it's a 2v0. Double kill for the Aurelia, who built a BF sword as the second item after boots and Triforce. Most likely going to be going for that Guardian Angel. I'd be surprised to see anything else. I'd also call it extremely BM on the side of Aurelia, but then again, I'm not an Aurelia player. As she sits at 9-1-2, and equal farm while providing so much more for her team right now. With the Olaf, who just, was picked in response to the Aurelia, but just isn't really coming out. He's still building towards his death stance as Gurg lets out a little bit of a laugh near the dragon. Oh boy, Callista finally finishing her Hurricane, so maybe in these team fights, if Team 7 Shades of Greg can find some time to stay alive and focus down and get some CC on the main damage threats of PARP, but there's 4 damage threats on the sides of PARP. I mean, we haven't even talked about Zyra that much with 0, 0, and 8, and Das Bite on this Lucian, he's not necessarily so far ahead, but he's still going to be a threat come here as they try to find a pick for OP. Oh, Boom Markle shows a little bit too soon. That's a sad cow. He's too fat. He couldn't fit in between the bushes. Shows a little bit too early. As they're pressuring this bot lane tower with Aurelia, who has the oh, and there's an engage right there onto Sir Everett, getting shredded by Das Bite, who's completed his Blade of the Rune King against a health stacking Sir Everett. You got to think the 4v4 favors Team PARP as the ult comes out from the Terry. Boomarkle goes in, headbutt pulverize. No flash taunt there. Das Bite re-engages once the taunt goes down. Red team has spawned the Herald in the mid lane for Aurelia. She's pressuring the tier 2 tower. No, she's now pressuring the inhibitor with it as she destroys the remaining health bar of what is Sir Everett. She has the GA now. Gerd's going to go down at the headbutt pulverize. A double kill coming in for the Aurelia, as it just looks like this is going to be in the inhibitor push, as there is a re-engage on the part of Packer Diehard. Taunts into them. Opie trying to get as many spears as he possibly can into Das Bite to try to take someone out. Opie is just trying to carry 7 Shades of Greg on his back as Urion's not even with them. The Ragnarok comes out from Django Unchained. Packer Diehard also there. There's still just enough minions. Blackish Strand is just massive right now. Nobody can do anything with him unless it's Opie, and he is so far behind right now he'd probably get one shot. Urion is just still in the bot lane pushing these towers as he comes around for the flank. There's a flash heal coming out from Das Bite. Here comes Urion trying to find a kill onto Opie. Can't. Fate's Call used. Gert re-engages back to dissuade any more pressure coming out from the side of Team PARP as they try to focus down this inhibitor. They get the inhibitor tower and some gold. Find Boommarkle with the stun again. It seems like he's a magnet for those today, but uses the exhaust to dissuade Sir Everett, and when it all comes down to it, a lot of people died on the side of 7 Shades of Greg. It seems our health bars were flashing to where they lost 2 towers in the entire exchange as they set up for this Infernal Drake. It just never stops. Zyra ultimate comes out, does a little bit more. Django finally gets his first kill of the game onto Gurg, and his second kill onto Boomarkle after they greedily try to go for this after being so low health. And then, the consume from Sir Everett, and Urion tried to go in for a desperation steal, trying to just make sure he can get the Infernal, but double Infernal over to the side of 7 Shades of Greg is a slight consolation prize as they went 3 for 0 in the back half of this incredibly long extended fight. Overall, it's still a 9,000 gold lead for Team PARP. 7 Shades of Greg was the one that has the double Infernal, and they're finding ways back into this. Also, not that having the double Infernal is the best for your team who only has the Kalista, who's not going to have so much of a multiplier on there. But denying it more so from Team Parp is just as massive, who they have their 4 carries who are so far ahead right now.
How's it going there?
Fucking great. ah.
Uh,
So
I wish this were something that we could fix, but it's just straight up, according to the Riot servers, this game doesn't exist. The API can't pick it up.
I wish I knew how to change the delay as of right now, because then I could probably change it. But I don't know if that would mess up stream either way if I did. So Urion, something I'm going to be selfish right now while we have a little bit of a lull in the action is he went Runic Echoes, obviously, Sword Boots, Lich Bane, and looks like he's building the Stinger, so not necessarily, he's doing a lot of burst, but having the attack speed as well, which is huge on the Diana as well. Some item completions that we want to look at. Django Unchained going with the Boots of Swiftness, which I think is a little bit questionable, just because with all the amount of CC on the side of Team Parp, even though he does have Ragnarok, I'd still like to just see it. And also double magic damage on the side of Team Parp would help out a little bit, as he has a giant spell and just a cloth armor.
Running though that Death's Dance, a really strange move on the Olaf, who started behind. He probably should have been going with an armor item.
Yep, Blackest
Maybe
Strain
an
goes
early
in onto
Bramble
the OP.
Vest against
Tarek
Blackest Strain.
using the ultimate to make sure that Blackest Strain does not pop his only carry right there. Gallia ultimate coming to dissuade the rest of them. Django Unchained using his ultimate to get out of the harm's way as Team Parp pushes down mid lane, trying to get this, as Blackest Strain goes back in, does just a massive amount of damage with how far way ahead he is. Urion just going in the middle, being Leroy Jenkins, saying that he doesn't care. Boom Oracle knocks Gert back, trying to focus down this inhibitor, but there's just so much tank on the side of Team 7 Shades of Greg. As Boom Oracle is about to go down, Blackest Strain does get his GA popped. This might be the fight that they need. Boom Oracle goes down, Blackest Strain does res back up, goes back in, takes out one, Diana takes out two, and then Boom Oracle has been dead, excuse me. Blackest Strain goes down. Urion is picking up this fight. Django Unchained, maybe that Death Dance is coming through for him. Is he going to be able to survive? Yes, he does. There is no DFT, I believe, on the side of Zyra. Dasbite is going to be able to take this mid inhibitor, though. Him and Gurg live. Django Unchained is the only one to defend. Mid inhibitor goes down. There's a massive wave in bot lane. Gurg and Dasbite most likely will be able to take this tower. Unless Django can have something to say about it, they go back. They do not want to give him any more kills. Keep him as far down as he can. A little bit of a taunt by Dasbite as they peel back. Huge wave for 7 Shades of Grey going into the top tower. Most likely going to be able to take that one. So it'll be one tower for 7 Shades of Greg and one tower for minions of 7 Shades of Greg, as Django is not wanting to let them go. He pops the Ragnarok, isn't able to flash over, as Olaf, usually taking Ghost, just gets the dash out of Dasbite. And that top lane tower does go down to minions. Overall, you get a lot of damage down that bot lane tower. It will regen slowly, but you get the mid lane inhibitor, which is most likely what that came for. Just seemed like a lot of indecision on the side of Team Parp of whom to focus, and not being able to focus down OP with this massive tank line that is getting items now as we go into these later stages of the game. The Aegis of Legion, and then most likely the Knight's Vow probably coming out from the side of Sir Everett to try to just keep OP alive. The Ardent Sensor also coming out from the Tarek, which is what I believe we saw Biofrost run today or yesterday in the North American LCS, as Parp is looking to set up vision around this Baron and try to bait a Baron fight most likely while they deal with the minions mid.
The Ardent Sensor, not too bad an item on that Tark. He does have the constant shield stream coming in for OP, along with the AoE heals to give a little attack speed boost to all his team. Not that all of them need it, but able to just help out everybody all at once with that item. Give everybody the bonus stats.
Yeah, agreed. Oh, Boom Oracle goes in, but he's on the Ragnarok. Gets stunned, double stun right there for Gert. going in as the Cosmic Radiance is used. Django and Chain going in. The Zyro ultimate comes out, does a good chunk of damage to Gert right there as Packer Diehard goes back in, taunts Boomarkle. Boomarkle headbutts him back out. Opie is wanting to really fight. He's almost on his 2-item power spike for Blade of the Ruin King. Still has the Hurricane right now. Has the Cutlass. Overall, just back and forth trade with a couple ultimates burned.
I don't know if it's wise by Seven Shades of Greg to want to fight now when they're so close to that Blade of the Ruin King. It'll be such a huge spike to help OP shred through them. But it looks like they did do good work into DOSBite's health bar. So not overall a bad trade for them, but maybe they should hold out for that Blade of the Ruin King power spike.
Yep, looks like Team Parp's going to take the third and final Infernal Drake from spawning. They get one of their own, which, you know, you wish you had the other two, but just getting one on this side of Team Parp is just so massive with all the carries that they have. And if you're keeping score at home, that's minions on the side of Team 7 Shades of Greg taking 2 towers, 7 Shades of Greg the team taking 1. So obviously the RPI may not believe that this game exists, but the minions on the side of Team 7 Shades of Greg do, and they want their team to win that badly that they've taken 2 towers by themselves. You could say that's probably more on the part of either Parp not paying attention to their side lanes and just wanting to constantly fight with the gold lead that they have, which is sitting around a 7,500 gold lead, which actually, if I'm not mistaken, is lower by 2,000 where we were at. We were almost at a 9,000 gold lead for them. So Team 7 Shades of Greg getting closer and closer. We have the Abyssal Mask and the Gargoyle Stoneplate finished for Galio. Most likely about to be finished for this Nunu as well. Callista having the Hex Drinker completed with her Blade of the Ruin King and her Hurricane with tier 2 boots. And the Bramble Vest coming out for the Taric. Looking at DOSBite, he has gone what I consider a sort of retro build on the Lucian right now, which is the Blade of the Ruin King into the Yomu's Ghostblade, with the Alistar having the Knight's Vow and the Boots of Swiftness. Opie taking a huge chunk out of DOSBite with just 3 auto attacks. As Yurion goes on, burns the flash on the Opie and heal as Packer Diehard tries to focus on the backline. Gert flashes in, misses the stun. Oh, that's going to be really tough. You're going to need that cooldown back for this next fight because this Taric he's pretty squishy going with his Ardent Sensor build. The inhibitor will be respawning mid lane shortly as Aurelia, this whole entire time, it's been a 4v4 in the bot lane with, I guess, Django kind of milling around mid, clearing out the minions. Black Restraint is in the top lane. Pretty good chunk on Yurion right there, chunking out Packer Diehard as Black Restraint goes and 1v1s Django. They're fighting underneath the tower. The Cosmic Radiance comes out. The Ardent Sensor Taric does die immediately. Yurion is down. Opie getting some huge chunks as Sir Everett gets his ultimate off. Opie trying to kite this fight out. Is he going to be able to do it? He's just too far away right now. He can't do anything. Trying to life steal off of these minions most likely in the mid lane with the double buffs. DOSBite goes in, able to do this, and he gets the kill on the Opie. 4 people down for the side of Team 7 Shades of Greg as Django again finds himself to be the last man standing, this time with 4 of the 5 people remaining as Django is trying to go in and get something. He kills DOSBite, gets the red buff as bot lane inhibitor goes down to Boomarkle and Gurgs as Aurelia takes the top lane last tier 2 tower, I believe, right now with the minions. It's going to be a 10,000 gold lead back up to that for Team Parp. While they have the bottom lane inhibitor down, it's going to be a huge amount of Baron pressure going for them.
Yeah, and now coming up into that next fight, Callista and Taric both out summoner spells. This should be a little bit easier for Parp to find that dive on towards that back line of 7 Shades of Greg. With those very crucial summoner spells down, 7 Shades of Greg just needs to hold out for those to come back before any major fights, see what they can do to just hopefully just keep Parp at bay without going all in.
I totally agree with that. I'll say that, who got it? Was it the Sir Everett did get the Scuttle Crab. Luckily for them, they want to have control of this burying area as much as they possibly can. You gotta give credit to Seven Shades of Greg though. They've been holding out, which was, I believe, at like 15 minutes, just something about. Oh, OP. He meets Blackistrand in his jungle. Blackistrand just destroys him, sitting on a pink ward. OP probably has his hands on his head right now. Didn't even see it, unfortunately, as Aurelia is pressuring this open inhibitor with super minions, as the rest of the team is fighting on to this Baron. Seven Shades of Greg don't really know what to do. Django's top lane. Everyone else is milling about. They're going to get this Baron for free. Blackistrand's GA is back up as Django is still just trying to fight him. Maybe just push him away right now as he does have the Baron empowered minions. And looks like it's going to be a push mid lane to try to get this second open inhibitor right here. OP still down for another 8 seconds and his flash is almost back up. Same with the Taric. You got to think if you're Seven Shades of Greg right now, you're going to have a fight here as Gert gets destroyed by Urion. My God, that damage. Oh my God. They need to make a new Death remake because I don't even think the new one will be able to do it right now. That's incredible. Death remake just has question marks all over it. I don't know, man. Diana did something. All right. We see them more engaging, more poking out, coming out of Urion. The headbutt pulverized from Boomarkle as Urion goes back in, gets another kill on the Survivor. The Zyra ultimate comes out. Boomarkle's tanking up the tower as OP gets some more damage. Blackistrand is focusing on OP as the Packer Diehard ultimate comes out from Galio. They get the GA off of this, but the rest of the team is focusing both towers. Both Nexus towers come down. Blackistrand somehow gets out. Diana taking down Packer Diehard as Django just goes down. Daspite lives with his life. Gert comes back up. Urion, you're a madman. Just so much burst damage from him and Blackistrand finishing this off. A 33-minute win. A little bit longer than before. PARP just destroying, dismantling, dismembering all the D's to Seven Shades of Greg, taking the 2-0 victory.
And the name of the game right there is 14 kill Irelia, 10 kill Diana. The dive from PARP, just getting so far ahead, able to annihilate people at will, just the two of them. And man, were they able to get to OP, he just dies. They get to Gert, he dies. Being a squishy build on that Taric, they kill whoever they want together, and there's just nothing that Seven Shades of Greg could do to keep them out of that fight or trade back kills off of that.
It was an amazing early game from the side of Team PARP. I feel like they should have pressed their advantage a little bit more. Probably went a little bit too hard for their kills. Also, you kind of have to look at the comp that they're going against. They have a lot of CC and a lot of ways of dissuading engages, but they just weren't ever far ahead on the side of Seven Shades of Greg. Just as you said, 10 kill Diana, 14 kill Blackistrand Aurelia's, 21 out of 33 kill participation, 19 out of 33 for them respectively. But then you look at Das Bite, who had 23 kill participation from the ADC role, and then a 20 kill participation for the Zyra, who was a 008. I'm getting a OP telling me that damage charge though, probably mostly sarcastic, but look at that Kalista. It is not sarcastic at all. Kalista topping the damage charts even while being on the losing team. OP probably typing in all chat, GG no re, my teammates are holding me back. Kappa, 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 Kappa in chat. It was a really good stall out by Seven Shades of Greg, I do have to say. I commend them on that. I don't blame the Taric for going Ardent Sensor. It is so strong right now, but it just made him such a squishy target for these incredibly ahead laners in the jungle and the top lane to just burst the squishy Taric down, who has the ultimate that could have turned some of these team fights if they were able to use that a little bit better. MVP voting is out. I want to open it up to you first and your thoughts on the game. See what happened and tell me what you think, how it went.
Really honestly, just this Irelia able to get ahead early, go in and fight people one-on-one and keep the pressure on the side lanes, able to open up for her team to be able to fight those 4v4s, as that Olaf could not answer the Irelia, despite Olaf being a fairly natural counter to that Irelia in the matchup. And yeah, just Balakastran able to just do what he wants and walk wherever he wants.
Yeah, I happen to agree with you. It started off with that level 2 kill for Aurelia, and it didn't stop there. Aurelia was just so massive, getting solo kill after solo kill top lane, TPing down, and that's the most important thing, knowing you have an advantage and then putting it elsewhere onto the map to where the rest of your team can have an advantage. He had such a big advantage that even when Django had to respawn bot lane, that they won a 4v5 while Urion was just splitting top lane getting a tower. I mean, it's that impressive of a display from Blackish on the Aurelia. Everyone on Team PARP did a fantastic job. Boomarkle, some great headbutt pulverizes. Dustby doing his job, standing in the back, not getting caught. Zyra putting out all the plants, putting pressure onto the Galio to where he couldn't wave clear, which is something I feel like we didn't really talk about. And I mean me to myself, because I can't talk to myself or they'll prescribe me my drugs again. Kappa. Uh, that the Zyra plants put so much pressure on Galio where he could not make plays around the map and allowed for them to dive the mid laner as well, which was just it was an underlooked and underappreciated thing by us, the casters, of how well Zyra played that game. Diana in the late game was absolutely absurd. Health bars were gone in a blink. I think Tarek died, respawned, and died again within the matter of 10 seconds. So you only live twice, but then you die twice as well, apparently. Uh, it's just an amazing snowbally comp from Team Parp and executing it again to perfection against arguably a better late game scaling team on the side of Seven Shades of Greg. But I will have to say that, again, as we talked about, they probably should have pressed their advantages more. Um, Probably didn't feel like they had the team comp to do it with this time. They had to be a little bit more riskier with having two melee champions being their ones ahead as opposed to a range one and then a tank, which made it a little bit more forgiving to go in on some of those aggressive plays last game. MVP poll is out. The game 1 MVP, for those of you, my bad, I didn't let you know, with 50% of the vote will be Urion on his Sejuani. Huge game from him in the early game, giving them that early game lead that they needed to snowball. And as it stands right now, with the same number of votes coming in, 8, Aurelia in the top lane, Blackish Strand getting 63% of the votes. Congratulations to both of our MVPs. We're going to transfer us into the PMA LCS captain's room, I believe, to do
yes, that makes the most sense.
Yeah. And if we can, Gerg. All right. Wait, where's it going? Wait, what happened?
We were chasing around Greg for no reason. Greg's not MVP.
Oh yeah, you're right. I just looked at him and saw that. Okay, so we need to get Blackish Strand. Okay, well let's just go out to the hangout looking for a team one, and then kick Sean. No, I'm kidding. We'll go up to the top. You see it?
Hey.
What's up?
Hey, and we have our two MVPs right here, and some guy who has a very attractive first name, joining us as well. Sean, how's it going?
Oh, you just think you can just invade our chat, don't you? Huh?
Well, do you want to be MVP or do you want us to give it to someone else?
And on that note, all right, so we have Team Parp, both representatives from both of their games, coming away with the 2-0 victory. Gentlemen, how does it feel with the nice 2-0 coming out?
Feels fucking great.
Let's go!
Okay. General Dill, I'll open it up to you first. Do you have any questions for our two MVPs?
All right, given that you got that Irelia pick, very, very strong pick in the top lane, and you were promptly countered by Olaf, how did you go into the
Counting my
early?
ass.
Olaf is the natural counter to Irelia. The natural counter. I did not say that it worked. However, being the natural counter, what was your thought process going into that early game against that lane?
Uh, well,
I'm pretty sure he
he okay.
said, "I'm gonna
Yeah, go ahead.
destroy her. I don't care."
Yeah, that was my. Honestly, I was just so hyped that I got Aurelia. I didn't really care. I was just like, I'm just gonna spice them up early and try to get ahead, and that's what thankfully ended up happening. I think Olaf is a good counter for Aurelia if you can keep her off you until you reach level 6, because if she can get a lead early, she just does more damage than you. Like that's just it. It doesn't matter if you ignore her, like one of her stuns. Like it doesn't matter. Like it doesn't matter. She just out damages you. So that was my mentality, along with the let's go.
Well, so it sounded like you picked Aurelia, thought, thank God I have it, YOLO, and then just went with it. There was no like really uh, plan there, but
Nope.
that's cool.
Well,
Nope.
with our team was pick comp, or yeah, we were playing to be able to pick off people. And
You're not
stop.
MVP, Sean. Stop talking.
Yeah, I don't.
He can.
Wow.
I can't. I'm
I-
unable to comprehend anything right now, so Sean can talk for me.
I mean, yeah, I was just trying to help him out because that's why we chose the Irelia and the Diana is to be able to just blow their ADC up.
And he was very slippery, so it was kind of hard to get onto him early game.
Yeah, so Yurion, I'm gonna come to you, man. I'm a jungler, and I was really waiting to see someone pull out Diana. I haven't been paying too much attention to PMA LCS, and I really like Diana right now. The way that you played this champion, especially in the mid to late game, obviously you had a huge lead where you like double killed Tarek alone in like the span of a minute on that last push, which is pretty nasty. What are some of the strengths of this champion? Some of the weaknesses that maybe they could have exploited of this champion?
The
And
weaknesses,
how did
I
you
would
play it
say,
out?
the Diana I'm used to playing, I play a very heavy attack speed based Diana. I could go straight aggro early game and put more AP into my runes. But with the new rework to Diana, she doesn't just get that automatic attack speed. It has to be after you use an ability. It's the next 3 attacks. So for me, I kind of had to work around going through my jungle and through plays a little bit differently, because you can't just use all your spells, or else, early game, you're kind of worthless. You have to think about it kind of like a Riven player. You have an empowered auto attack almost. As far as the CS, once I realized that I really started to get held in the CS, I just felt that I needed to get some necessity items, which I hate building Nashor's Tooth on Diana. For whatever reason, I like the idea of burst, but I needed to be able to utilize my auto attacks.
Yeah, it's
And I
something
think,
we commented on during the stream was the Nashor's Tooth.
and because of that, I think it set me up nicely for late game so that I could start to build more bursty items. I mean, I didn't really get to complete much of it. It was more of a safe build more than anything. But I think because I had enough attack speed and it helped me through the early game, I was just able to put it on cruise control late game and have some fun.
Yep. Now, while I did ask you about your Diana, because I'm selfish and I want to know, because I want to go try it in solo queue, as I said at the beginning of the broadcast. You're here for your really immaculate play on that Sejuani. General Dill was talking about it in game one, just how it's basically, as you said about your late game with Diana, all game is brain dead with Sejuani and just bring a shit ton of crowd control. Your thoughts?
I hate playing Sejuani. I hate to say it like that, but ever since I started Sejuani, I didn't really enjoy playing her. But I hate to say it, but she works. I mean, regardless, you can put a dog taped to a keyboard and he'll do all right with it. Sejuani just works regardless of of what's time it is during the game. She just it's not that she needs to do damage. She's just an annoyance to deal with because she's there. She's in every fight as long as you're positioned correctly. I would say that she is extremely strong as with just zoning off the back line. I mean, it's not really ideal for me to go into their back line immediately. You kind of want to think about it that Sejuani can tank more than Peel. There's a lot to think about, but I think it's just right now she's just a super strong champ, and you kind of have to pick it. So I'm kind of in a sad state because I kind of have to play her.
Understandable. I have one last question, unless you have one, General Dill.
No, not really. Go for it.
Well, Sean, it seems like you're Das Bite, correct?
Yeah.
It seems like maybe you're one of the more of the shot callers, or maybe pick and ban kind of guy.
Sorry, 1 second. I can't hear anything.
Okay.
He was definitely shot calling.
Okay.
I will
so
say
Oh,
that.
me? Yeah, I was shot calling. Yeah.
Well, okay, and maybe possibly whoever I want to ask y'all as a team. Both times y'all pick these early game kind of skirmishy comps that need to have a lead to be ahead. While Seven Shades of Greg, you were faced with, if this gets 25 minutes and it's even, we're looking, at like a really narrow window to win this game. One, why do y'all choose these comps? Why do y'all feel like these are the best for y'all in particular, or is it better for the meta? And then two, what is your focus on how to make those snowballs happen to where you're not faced with that, well, they have the better 5v5 team fight and scaling later in the game, so, we're screwed.
Confidence.
Right. Yeah, I mean,
Balls to the wall.
it's a matter of like we play really well together. Like as much as like a team comp may affect it, at the end of the day, you're gonna have to work well together anyway. And so picking our like hard engages and carries kind of comps really works together because we synergize so well. So like even if we can just get one lane ahead, we can use that to our advantage and then get our other lanes ahead off of that, or just pressure and just kind of have our other lanes and just kind of sit. Even if they did not snowball, we just want to focus on one or two. If we don't completely just pop off on one.
Okay, and am I mistaken, or did y'all have one or two subs for this game?
Just
We had
one.
one sub.
And that was Gerg in the mid lane, correct?
Correct.
Yep.
You took away my casting partner, and luckily he performed decently well, especially in the first game. But
Yeah.
Congrats to y'all. Do y'all have anything y'all want to say to Twitch chat, to your fans, to the enemy team, to the memers out there?
No, I think Caleb wants to let it be known once and for all the correct verbiage in tense of our team name.
Again.
Because
What?
everyone's.
I'm not paying attention. What's going on?
That's all we got. That's the best way to put it. That's all we got.
Give me the Aurelia! Let's go!
So if you're playing Team PARP, ban Aurelia,
No,
or
don't do it.
or just
Nah.
just wait.
There's no need to do it. We got
Yeah,
this.
don't do it.
We're
Yeah,
gonna
don't do
stomp
it.
Aurelia. Have fun.
All right. Well,
Go ahead.
unless that's anything else from anybody.
If you think Will the Torpedo Brooks is scared of Aurelia, you've got another thing coming.
About to be Spy Stop, boy. I'm going Aurelia 80 carry.
Oh my
Let's
God.
go.
All right. Well, I think that's about wrapping up for our first broadcast of PMA LCS 2. Hope you all enjoyed it. For all of our live broadcast crew here, and for everyone watching at home, thank you so much. I'm Sean Minbung Shannon.
And I am Dylan, General Dill Ortenzi.
And thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.